The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, everybody. Welcome. It's the Mark Hoke Show, live here on markhokeshow.com, roguewire.com. Whip the hoodleskeeten, and I've got Nate down along for the ride. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
I dropped the whoop the hoodleskeeten. I don't know where that came from. I haven't said that since I was about, 13.
I'm over here playing on WSOP right now, waiting for the games to start on PokerStars.
There you go.
It's the last game, isn't it?
No, 2 more to go after this.
2 more to go.
16 events. You're looking good, though, Nate. You're looking good. I think you're going to be in the championship.
I'm pretty sure.
Just calling it a hunch.
I've got to send 17 minions out to damage other people's Wi-Fi spots so they can't play.
All you got to do, you
game.
just got to beat 17 people, Nate. That's it.
I've done it before. I've beat 17 people once or twice.
Yeah. So it should be a good one. Well, welcome to the show. We do appreciate it. And, well, we got an interesting show today. With everything happening, I decided let's go to Canada.
That's a good idea because our American hero is getting sued for $9 million right now.
Oh, we got a lot happening around the poker world this week. Borgata, Hard Rock. But we're very excited because the Canadian Poker Tour, in case you didn't know, Nate, has an event fired up that has been killing it up in Calgary.
Well, they did come down here to the Tropicana. I did play in a Canadian Poker Tour event back a few years ago with Gavin Smith was playing, and there were 6 of us, as a matter of fact, in the event. It was over at the Tropicana. So hopefully they have a better turnout there than they did here in Vegas.
They sold out at this event this weekend. They are right now, let's see, they are at the Grey Eagle Casino for the CPT Spring Showdown up in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Home of the Hitman, Bret Hart, by the way. And they are just doing well. They've sold everything out there. Having a great time up there. And we're going to talk to the Canadian Poker Tour's Kelly Kellner coming up in just a little while. He's been running around up there all weekend. The series has been going on since April 8th. So we're going to talk to him about what's happening a little bit north of the border, and things are getting pretty exciting for those guys. So another poker tour out there, and maybe an opportunity for players to go international a little bit. So we'll give you some information on that. We may be hearing from Joe Payne, Nate.
Fun.
We might get Joe Payne on, depending on how he's doing. He's in a WSOP main event league right now. So
that's the one he was talking about, where he's called Luckbox.
That is correct. Yeah. So we're going to be hopefully talking to Joe, and we'll get to talk to him probably about the biggest story going on right now in poker, other than the fact that a lot of people are playing down in Florida. Mr. Ivy.
Cord sorting.
Lawsuit number 2.
Well, and it's the issue now. The reason why that the Borgata could turn around and do this is because his defense in the 12 million over in Paris was that it's not illegal and he wasn't doing anything wrong. Well, at the Borgata, there are rules against it.
See, that's a problem.
So you can't use that same defense now in your second lawsuit. What are you going to do?
Yeah, so we'll break it down for you. And, I think a lot of people don't really understand exactly what Phil did. And I found when this first happened with the casino over in London, I actually found a great diagram that showed exactly what he was doing to get this advantage when he was playing this Baccarat game. So we're going to
and what he was doing there, how he was doing it wasn't how breaking the rules went. It's what he did to the dealers, how he manipulated the dealers into letting them see the top of their cards Are we going to get into this later, or do you want to get into it now?
Yeah, we're gonna break it down a little bit later because I wanna save that,
Okay.
especially if we get Joe on the air. So, because of course Joe Payne, legendary blackjack player, he's gotten blackballed from just a few casinos.
He's an
because
advantage player.
Yeah,
and casinos try to protect themselves by telling advantage players they don't want them playing blackjack in their house. Usually they're still allowed to play slots and craps and other things, but not blackjack or baccarat or any of the advantage games.
yeah. So we're gonna kind of go through all that, explain it in depth as to how Phil has gotten this edge when he's played these baccarat games, and see how it goes. I mean, this is pretty crazy. I see Casino Examiner is fired up there. Let's see, what does he have in there? MGM Resorts owns 50% Borgata and Aria. MGM honored Phil Ivey with Ivy's room at Aria's poker room. He repays MGM by baccarat edge sorting $9.6 million. Sad exclamation point. Yeah.
And they're suing him for breach of contract in that too. So
oh boy.
That might not be the Ivy room much longer if he doesn't say, okay, here's your $9.6 million. What's it worth to you?
We can make it the Hoke room.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
What's that going to be? The 25-cent, 50-cent minute?
No, 1 cent, 2 cent right now. We're
nothing over $2, guys. Nothing over $2.
Yep, guys. Sorry, $1 7-seat Omaha high-low sit-and goes today. Good luck. Oh my God. Yeah, but so we'll be discussing that and congratulating the guys down there at the Hard Rock. Man, I'll tell you what a amazing scene that must have been down there. I wanted to go so bad, but things didn't work out, so maybe next time. But some big going. Let's break that one down for you while we got some time before we get Kelly Kellner on the show.
Which one?
The World Poker Tour Seminole Hard Rock Showdown, $3,500 buy-in main event. Third and starting flight was yesterday. I believe they're on day 2 today. We had, 1,795 entries in this event total.
That's a ton.
1,795. New WPT record. And the prize pool, kids, they are playing for a shite load of money. Winner's going to get over $1 million in this thing. Joe Kuther was the leader, and we'll hop on WPT.com and get you the standings here in a little bit. But how about that? Just a stunning turnout out there. They crushed the guarantee.
Some people were worried they weren't going to make that $5 million guarantee, that they weren't going to be able to hit it, but their plan fell together perfectly, as usual.
That's because Ray Stefanelli is the man.
He is. I agree.
He is the man. He's the marketing director now was at the Borgata, now has taken his talents to the Seminole casinos in Florida, and just unbelievable scene down there. Big congratulations to those guys. And big congratulations to whoever wins that thing. Boing. Bam. That's pretty huge. So that'll be finishing up here in a few days. Let me see. Last chip count I have listed for WPT. Nick Schwarman. I hate saying his name. I swear to God. Nick Schwarman is the leader. 690,000 chips. Ryan D'Angelo in second. We got Siva Ganta, Ralph Campbell, Gary Sewell, and James Mackey, according to what I've got as your top players on the board right now. But yeah, gosh, nearly $6 million prize pool. What a job by those guys. Unreal. What would you do? I'm trying to find the exact prize pool here. See what everybody's going to win on this thing.
I haven't seen it. I seen when they broke the 5 million mark. I've been watching my friend Dan Heimiller post about what he's doing, and he's got about 220,000. He says average stack's about 110,000.
Yeah, I'd be thrilled if my computer would actually work here, but it's refusing right now. So we'll get that for you in a minute. But yep. Hey, and we do have Joe Payne. So Joe will be coming on at 4:15. So we'll get to talk to Joe in just a little while. Pretty good stuff. There we go. Let's see. We have a total prize pool of $5.76 million. 1795 entrants, and I am still though looking for the payout schedule. Don't have it. Ugh, that drives me crazy. I swear to God. You'd have thought I had that ready to go, but I thought I did, but I failed. What a shock. Oh. I hope I don't screw this thing up as bad at the World Series, Nate.
Why, Mark?
Oh, just because. You
got to make mistakes. Mistakes are fun.
Well,
You'll
are.
have everything hooked up. We're going to have such a great time down there.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, there it is. There we go, finally. Yeah, but getting back to the World Series of Poker, guess what, kids? We are in the prime time spot. We've earned it. 23 feet of booth space.
That's awesome.
Oh,
and that's because you're right on top of it. Being out here in Vegas, you're able to go down and say, "Yeah, can I get this one? Can I get this one? Please, please."
Seth Polanski claims that. Well, you asked first. Come on, Seth. You know, don't even give me that. You know we're the best. That's all there is to it. So we will be right there on the corner by the Brasilia room in that nice little tiki bar that you guys all know so well in the main hallway. Should be a great time. We'll have the lounge set up, the broadcast booth, and Nate, mutual friend of ours, and us maybe working on a little surprise.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it Raymond?
No.
Oh.
No, Matt. But I don't want to. I'm teasing. I don't want to give anything away because we haven't finalized it yet.
Oh, fun.
But could be something huge in the booth this year.
I'm telling you, Matt is the man, Mr. Carpenter.
And we're just going to leave it at that.
All right.
No, Matthew Perry from Friends.
From Friends. But I tell you what, if Matt's involved in the surprise, I'm excited because that man can make miracles happen. So
we are very excited about this year's booth. Should be a good one as long as some of our sponsors come through. So, guys, if you know anybody that wants to get involved with our WSOP booth, we're doing $99 coupons. You can go all the way from doing ad packages and everything else. It's going to be huge. So make sure you get involved with us at the World Series of Poker. Why spend the money on a booth when you can be part of ours, the greatest one in poker? So we'll see you guys at the 2014 World Series of Poker. Woohoo! Woohoo! All right, so now I got the payout structure finally dug up. Winner is going to get 1,081,184 buckaroos.
Oh, for a $3,500 buy-in?
Yeah, you bet. Second, 691,965, and all the way down to the final 9 are going to be picking up at least 100,000. So not a bad payday. You can get down to that last group. There. Yeah, they're paying down to 170 spots. Basically double up for the bottom 10 there, but still not bad.
And today was the final day, or yesterday was the final day of entry, right?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay. So now everybody's in that's in. There's no more entries, no more taking the day offs.
Nope.
Everybody's playing?
Everybody's playing, and they are down to 280 players at the moment. So, and it looks like the last update, Ryan Araquazo knocked out Lily Coletto. So hits a nut straight, and our good friend of the show, Ryan Araquazo, goes up 320,000 chips. So, let's take a look at that listing while we're at it. I'll see if that'll actually come up for me. And we'll give you a full breakdown on where the chip counts are at the moment at this great event. Casino Examiner's asking, any chicks at your booth? I'm working on it.
Any chips at the booth?
Chicks, not chips. Chicks. Who needs chips at a poker booth?
There's always chicks. There's always chicks at the World Series. We'll have them at the booth.
Yeah, we'll get it done. So, it's soon time to make the rundown stripper row this week. Anyway, some other big names doing well in this one. Noah Schwartz. Oh, God. That's not good. If Noah gets to the final table, it'll kill everybody. He's at 360,000. Tuan Lee is still in there. Joe Kuther was the leader after everybody's chips were in on day one. The red-hot Makul Pahuja, Vinny's brother, getting it done. He's at 330. Eric Quazo went up to 320. Matt Stout's at 310. Let's see. Byron Caverman at 270. Moshin Charnaya course, a former WPT champion at 260. Let's see, Sean Kunix, who knows how to win those WPT events down in Florida, sitting good. Jeff Gross is there at 245. Who else we got that I really, really like here? Matt Glantz is at 190.
Where's Kessler?
I don't know. I'm looking for him. Let's see. Kathy Liebert's at 180. Jake Cody at 175. Rep Porter had a very good run at the World Series main last year at 167. Nancy Todd, how about that? Our good friend Nancy Todd out here in Las Vegas. Former political operative and a great poker player. 166. Ty Ryman's there. Matt Salzberg. 160. Josh Ari, 155. Lon Schwartz is still in there, 150. Tristan Wade, Phil Locke. The Miami Bosses at 140. Will Fiala hanging around in there too. Eddie Sabat, the man that took my WSOP circuit ring. Actually, no, he didn't. That's right. He didn't get the ring either. He got screwed. Matt Giannetti's in there. Yeah, so a lot of names still hanging around down there. Ben Hamnet, Lonnie Harwood. I'm looking for Kessler for you. I'm not seeing him. Bobby Abuti's there though. Athanasios Polychronopoulos.
I don't know. He was putting it out there that he was selling some action, and he only sold a little bit of it. So, from what I could see,
I do not see his name on the current players on the board. So I would expect that he would be.
Then
he'd be on that list. So he's probably out of there.
3 bullets.
But so we're looking at 170 getting paid and listed at 280 at the moment. So great tournament going down there at the Hard Rock. Yeah.
Oh, Dan Heimiller just posted that he is out.
Oh, bye, Dan.
Onward and upward to Borgata AC tomorrow, he says.
And that's what's going on up at Borgata right now. Of course, the Spring Open is going on. And, hey, guess what? Those new chips apparently worked out because we got through event number 1 of the Borgata Spring Poker Open.
Did all the chips?
They did. Carlos Alvarado winning the $1 million guarantee event. And they crushed that up there, too. 2,500 entries. They only needed 2,000 to get the it was a 560 buy-in. So they only needed they cleared that by over 500 entries. So nice job there once again by Tab and the Borgata team up there.
Well, hopefully Tab and the Borgata team up there can get that Winter Poker Open settled so that those 26 players can have their money.
I think it's going to be a while.
That's horrible. That's a lot of money to be locked up. They should be able to get interest off that because the Borgata's got that money in lockdown along with the state, and they're earning interest on it wherever they've got it locked up at. So.
Well, we'll see how that turns out. But, of course, I'm sure a lot of security footage being reviewed still, so we'll see. But Carlos Alvarado, actually a 4-way chop to win that event as he ends up winning the tournament. But Adam Pace in second, Kevin Grable in third, Phil Nyman in fourth, all getting $127,652. Let's see. We have Mitchell Manton, John Yanni. Wow, here's a good one. Zbigniew Fido finishing 7th, Matthew Itkin in 8th, and Mikhail Mironenko finishing 9th, picking up $21,000. So there you go. Let's see. And Amnon Philippi, there's a name. He wins event number 4, by the way. Got a heads-up agreement with Vincent Fershing, and he is listed as the champion and takes home $13,000. So that's it. Actually, his first live tournament win since May of 2012. So Amnon Philippi scoring big up there at the Borgata. So there you go. A lot going on right now. My goodness. We had nothing to talk about last week. I mean, literally.
Well, I love that Phil Ivey's back in headlines. But there was good news this last week about Phil Ivey. His ex-wife is getting remarried, so he doesn't have to pay her alimony anymore, and so that freed up a lot of his money, and he was going towards good things. And then this comes along. There's always something.
Yep.
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Yeah, there you go. So well, that's got to be good for Phil, though. Man, that's always nice when the ex has something else to distract her.
Oh, the Gamblers Book Club had eye candy at their booth. Yes,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did.
Well, we know that. I remember that. You know, Casino Examiner, I'll tell you what. You help me make some deals, and I'll get you all the poo-ha you want at our booth. We'll line it. It's like we'll make a wall to get in. I'll make it like a VIP room. That's what we should get. We should get one of those theater ropes. You can't sit down unless we let you in. What do you think of that?
Good idea.
What do you think of that?
Great idea. Great idea. Can't come in without a sponsorship to the show.
Well, there you go. $5.
That was a comfortable little sit down though last year. So
Yeah, absolutely.
but just put a camera on it this year, and if you sit, you will be live.
Oh, that would be so sick to show that the whole time. I could hook that up to have it playing while we're off the air.
Yeah.
I could. That's an idea.
Yeah, because then even the people that come in and sit down and just squat and just sit there and chat, they'll have no idea that it's live streaming through Roguewire.
I think that's a good idea.
We'll just put up a little sign that says this booth is constantly on air, and watch people.
We'll turn the sound off though.
No, that's that.
Oh, but I'm telling you, the conversations that took place in the booth last year, I don't want a lot of those broadcast.
Oh, so what?
No,
it's
no,
Vegas.
no. Bad idea.
Put a little warning sign on it saying this is obviously it's there can be some very emotional things going on, but we could also catch some people like talking about cheating. That could be fun.
I want people to sit there. I don't want to be scared to sit down. We can put it on video. I think that's a good idea.
I think so too.
I think that's a good idea. If we put it on video, then everybody will see how much fun we're having in there. And how all the superstars of poker, except for a couple snobs, join us. But we've had some good ones there. It's going to be a great World Series. All right, so we're getting ready for Kelly Kellner to join us here in just a little bit, talk about what's going on with the Canadian Poker Tour. Joe Payne is going to be joining us too, so should be fun. Of course, Joe running the Nevada Poker League out here, and of course, former superstar blackjack player on the show. And don't forget, we got Off Tilt Poker Tables event number 14. Only 3 to play yet. And boy, Nate, did you look at the standings? Did you look?
No, I'm actually trying to kind of look now.
They're up on the Mark Hoke Show Facebook page. And while there is a nice tier of players that probably have their spots wrapped up, there is another tier of players. Yeah, you better get it going because some people are making a late run here.
Yeah, Alarm Man Tom had a chance. He was on the window last time.
And I did move. God, who was that? Was it the Mopper? Yeah, I think it was the Mopper. I had a little low in the standings despite his points. That has been corrected. So, but it's gonna be a great one. Join us on that one for the Off Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series. Of course, you win a brand new custom poker table from Off Tilt Poker Tables. So make sure you check them out. OffTiltPokerTables.com. The tables of the World Series of Poker, Deep Stacks Poker Tour, Mid-States Poker Tour, me, you, everybody. So going off to OffTiltPokerTables.com. And if you want to get in the tournament, club ID on PokerStars.net under that Home Games tab is 629454. Password is Roguewire.
He got it right.
Hey. So join in the fun. We'll be keeping our eyes peeled. And if you want to get in, haven't gotten in the club yet, still plenty of time to do so. So hop on in there. All right. So we're just a couple minutes away from Kelly Kellner giving us a call. I'm going to step back and take a jam in a commercial break here real quick. And we'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And we'll see you on the other side of the break. Stick around. We will be right back.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Masura stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
Want a chance to win the Poker Notes Live premium version for free, valued at $10? Poker Face News is offering an exclusive promotion only to the Mark Hoke Show listeners, whereby one version of the Poker Notes Live premium app is being given away for free every week. To win one, sign up to the Poker Face News email newsletter, where you will also be the first to hear exclusive interviews with some of poker's most interesting personalities, as well as much more. Sign up now at pokerfacenews.com/Mark Hoke. That's no spaces, no dashes, pokerfacenews.com/Mark Hoke.
9 poker players on a dramatic path to glory with unbelievable twists and turns that will keep you on the edge of your seat. It's the Final 9 comic from Room 110 Publishing. Go to final9comic.com to download the first issue preview and get ready for the official launch coming soon. 9 will become one way or another. Final9comic.com. And for more details, make sure to follow them on Twitter and like them on Facebook at Final9Comic. The best in poker news, entertainment, and more. This is the Mark Hoke Show.
All right, everybody, and we are back, and we're going to get this man on the line right now. We'll cut that music, as it is time for Kelly Kellner. Kelly, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing great. Apparently not as good as you, though.
Oh, I tell you, it's been a good run, and things are looking very, very bright. The sun is shining, spring is upon us, and the snow is melting in Canada, and so are some of these prize pools melting all over the place. We've had a huge, huge turnout this week.
Now, congratulations on the event. Very exciting. So tell everybody a little bit about this Spring Showdown, what's been going on, and where you're at right now.
Well, we've got a great new partner in Calgary with the Grey Eagle Resort and Casino, and I'll tell you, they're a fantastic venue. They've just opened a 2,300-seat showroom auditorium, and they are about to open next month a 184-suite, 4.5-star hotel on property. So this is the place to be in Canada. It's the place to be in Western Canada, and so we were able to build a great little series called the CPT Spring Showdown. Series of 6 events, and we decided, we sat down and talked about what's happening in poker, what's happening in the industry, and how are we going to really engage the players and get their loyalty and commitment. So we put up, they stepped up, we stepped up, and we put $250,000 worth of guarantees on this series. But I got to tell you something, we're still last. We're CPT Super Sunday here. We've got the high roller yet to start, and we're in the middle of the 330 bounty. But I think we're over 600,000 in prize pool. So we're just absolutely crushing it.
Now that is awesome. Very happy to hear it. So what has been going on with the Canadian Poker Tour? Because I know, the tour has been evolving and having so many changes coming to it. Where are you guys right now in terms of, building your tour up and, the different events that people can come to and so on?
Sure. Well, the last couple of years, for poker everywhere has been a little tough. The economy's been tough. People just haven't had the money for tournaments that they had in the past. And as a business model for us, we're fairly diverse in that we publish Canadian Poker Player Magazine, Canada's only national poker publication. And with what's happened within the industry, it's made the business model and it's made it very tough. So we've really spent the last year and a half retooling. We've brought in some new management and some great partners and developed some strategic alliances. So now this is our first big re-engaged to event series with the players, and we're building a number more of them right now, which we'll be announcing over the next month or so, as well as like I say, with some of these new alliances and partnerships are making for a much better national infrastructure. Relaunching the Player of the Year race. We've just partnered with Global Poker Index, so what they've done now is they've taken over. We've embedded them into our website, so it makes it a lot easier for us too. They are the bomb when it comes to poker result reporting, player profiles. So that's engaged in our site, as well as we're now doing some Player of the Series competitions. So we partnered with Aria Resort and Casino Las Vegas for this series. Player of the Series is getting not only the cover of Canadian Poker Player Magazine, they're getting a feature, but they're getting some cash to go down to the fabulous city of Las Vegas, getting comps as well as a VIP suite at Aria, and buy into a huge event which they are about to announce here within the next couple of weeks. So, we're able to give some great value to players, and between that and the guarantees, and now with other series across the country, we're currently in development of a couple of very, very big things in Vancouver, Edmonton, Brantford, Ontario, Moncton. And so the future's looking very, very strong. But basically, what we're trying to do is through the rest of this year is re-engage, get the support and get the loyalty of the players back, and then we're going to hit it out of the park for 2015 and beyond. Well,
I think it's interesting when you're talking about the Canadian poker scene in terms of, a lot of the doing events in a lot of the western part of the country, because, we all know about a lot of the events that take place over in Montreal. Everybody talks about what happens at the playground, but it seems like almost the western half of the country gets forgotten in all of this. And it sounds like you guys have been able to tap into something to build that group back up.
Yes, absolutely. And it's our backyard. We're headquartered in Calgary. However, we do have a new marketing director for Eastern Canada, Matt Routley, that's working out of Toronto. So he's going to be engaging some of the venues in the east where we haven't been. But you're right. Playground, and it's been easier for them because not having to operate within the regulatory environment of the provinces by being on Kanawaki has allowed them to do things with Poker Stars and with Party Poker, and God bless them for it. That's fantastic. But for the rest of the country, in every province you've got a different regulatory environment, and it's been tough. It's tough to as a promoter of poker to do the things that we'd like to do. For example, in Alberta right now, we cannot televise or live stream any poker events whatsoever, or any action inside the floor. Whereas in BC, BCLC over the past 7 or 8 years has been one of the biggest customers of engaging and paying us to televise poker events. You've got the emergence of PlayNow.com, which is an online poker site run by government regulators in BC. They've engaged Manitoba, and a lot of Quebec is involved, and that's looking to expand. But it's been a tough landscape to operate in, and we're doing our best, and we're working with them and trying to show them the value of what these tournaments bring in and the economic benefit to the city. Starting with our casino partners. There isn't a lot of money in poker tournaments. It's not like we can dip and take profits out of these prize pools. Players are expecting a great format, great structure, and very reasonable and accepted registration fees. So, we're doing our best to build a business model within the regulatory environment and be everything to everyone. So, 11 years into this, we're almost an overnight success. Almost. In a couple of years, we should be there.
It is a grind, isn't it? I'll tell you what, doing anything in the industry right now since Black Friday, it is just a fight, isn't it?
No, it's tough. No, listen, it's like any Sunday in front of your laptop playing online. It is a grind. You got to sit there. You got to be patient. You got to pick your spots. So, my experience of being a, sort of half-assed poker player is boding well for some of the things that we're doing in the industry. But it's looking very encouraging. And like I say, our main event for this series here. So we got 270 players in a 1K event, which in the grand scheme of the world isn't huge. But I'll tell you, we haven't had a prize pool like that for a main event in Alberta in probably 6 years. And we're hoping that Vancouver will come aboard. We did a little deal here last week with Hard Rock Vancouver for their first series after they've rebranded their property. They're formerly Boulevard Casino, and so they're now Hard Rock Vancouver. Very cool place. Some great people working there. I'm heading out there hopefully in the next week or 10 days, and the nice thing about there is we can actually do some live streaming and television. So I'm looking for a new casino partner where I can televise my Canadian Open Poker Championships, and a lot of you guys might remember that from the past. We've televised that. We've had Phil Hellmuth, Antonio Escondieri, Phil Locke, and Jennifer Tilley, Gavin Smith. We've had all the pros up here, and Hellmuth, Huckseed, Antonio, they'll all tell you that our heads-up tournament that we've run is the best tournament in the world. Just tremendous structure, and that's part of what I've been doing here is building great structures, and so we hope to get that back on the ball, as well as some innovation to tournament play, and looking for engaging new non-traditional poker sponsors. And really taking the game next level. I think we've got a real resurgence, and you got to think about it too. In these last couple of years here, we've got a whole new next generation of 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that can come. In Canada, in the provinces, you can play in certain provinces when you're 18 or 19. So we got a whole new market coming into play, and we're going after it.
Well, speaking of getting that market, I found it very interesting over the past few years because I actually started doing the show pretty close to after Black Friday, so I've really been able to follow the evolution of where the game has gone since that hideous day took place. Mm-hmm. And people will say, well, poker's dying off a little bit, but every time I turn around, there's a new poker tour coming up. There's new events, and they're packing the house at most of these, and it certainly makes for an incredibly difficult and competitive marketplace. So when you guys are making your schedules and trying to plan everything out, what are some of the keys that you have to try and make sure that you're not only presenting a good event, but putting it at the right time too?
Well, there's no doubt. Yeah, competition. When you're looking at Eastern Canada versus Western Canada, that was some of the reason the WSOP circuit had a little bit of an issue up here last year. They had their event at River Rock, but they overlapped. They had a WSOP circuit at Tahoe, and then the following week at Lac de Lemay in Quebec. So, they didn't engage the Eastern Canadian players to come out here. A lot of the WSOP circuit, players that follow that around. Are going to go to Tahoe probably before there. So, even within a tour, it's difficult. But, you've got to really pick your spots. I had a little chat with Alan Kessler about the structures. God bless him. He chainsaw approved the structures we built. In fact, I quote him saying that my main event was perfect.
Wow.
But I tried to get him and a few of the crew up here. But, they're playing a $5 million guarantee in Florida. So, a little 125 main event guarantee isn't too exciting to some of the big boys, but I'll tell you what, we sure got a hell of a turnout, and a testament to that structure. We restarted day 2 today here. Average stack had just under 60 bigs, so players are loving what we're doing, and it just shows that within these different tours and that if you're not on your game, if you don't have the right structure, and if you don't have a casino partner behind you that's supportive and engaged with you and can deliver, then some of these tours are gonna falter. So, but over hosting or sanctioning over 8,000 tournaments over 11 years. We've seen a few mistakes made, and we try not to make them more than 5 or 6 times. So we've got. I think we've got our stuff together, and I'm like I say, I'm really looking forward to some of the new things that we're putting together, including the CPT monthly challenge. Now, this is something that we built with Grey Eagle here and helped them promote for a number of years. We take the first Wednesday of every month and run a 3:30 event. I'm now building those in a number of other cities, engaging all of those to be a national-wide points-earning event. And just getting the CPT branding back from coast to coast. And that's part of the retooling, part of the relaunch and the rebrand that seems to be coming quite well. And I got to tell you, since my numbers have been going out in social media, I've been getting some good phone calls and getting some text messages. So despite the fact that I was going to take about 48 hours off, I think I'm going to be back hard grinding and putting some new things together here starting Monday morning.
It never fails, does it? Never fails.
Yeah.
The work just doesn't stop. By the way, I still can't get over Alan Kessler calling the structure perfect. That just blows me away.
Believe me, we did a little event down. We were involved in an event down at Tropicana, and boy, I had Gavin Smith with me there, and he was chewing us up in social media pretty good. In fact, we went over to MGM to have a little visit with him. That wasn't. I was worried about Gavin. God bless him. He's been a great supporter of ours. And but I'll tell you what, his heart's in the right place, and maybe some of the delivery and way of doing things isn't the way you or I might do it. But you know what? He's got a point, and when you build these things the right way, and there's a certain way to do things, you've got value. And I'll tell you what, we can show to the casino. The one thing that I've really been trying to hammer home from coast to coast is, you get a lot of these people making poker decisions higher up that aren't in the poker business. And comes the end of a tournament, all of a sudden they want to do this thing's running until 2, 3 in the morning. They just, get it over, double the blinds. Well, I have a real problem with that because now you've sat there and you've ground for 14, 16 hours in a tournament. You're finally playing for the big money. And the people that are behind this don't really get that. They just want to get it over with. I'm willing to reach into my pocket and pull out a $50 bill and say, listen, pay the $12 an hour or $15 an hour dealer an extra 3-4 hours and let him play. Yeah. You know what? That's the engagement that we need. But the nice thing is with a partner like Grey Eagle Resort Casino and some of their affiliated properties across the country, these guys get it. And so that's why it's really easy. We got involved in a very big social media battle and debate here last week on Facebook. We had a tournament director in a venue that we used to deal with that says, well, and stands up on his soapbox and says, listen, antes, he ran an event where he's starting antes 9 hours into the tournament. And he
wow.
just thinks that's the way to go. So, listen, who am I to say? But, like I say, after 8,000 or 9,000 tournaments, we think we know a little better. And, they only, I think they only got 100 players for their 2-day event, and we got 270. So, there you go.
Yeah, that'll do it. And, of course, we're on with Kelly Kellner from the Canadian Poker Tour. And if you want to see the schedule and everything they've got going on, make sure you guys go to CanadianPokerTour.tv. And speaking of TV, you guys got something cooking up there? What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what, we've been working on this for a few years, and seriously a few years, but it's a vision and belief that I've had that where the industry needs to go. And in Canada, we have a governing body, the CRTC, that regulates television, and we've now gotten to the point through them where we can now go to the cable and broadcast distributors in Canada, and we are looking to launch a poker cable television network 24/7 here in Canada, with then hopes of launching the sister and larger network in the U.S. very quickly after that. We've got some great partners. Gil Steinfeld from Party Poker, WPT. We've got some content from them, and we've produced 30 hours of television. But now with the RFID chips and cards and the lower cost because of technology, we want to start live streaming, covering a lot more events. There's a lot of content out there from other suppliers. So we are working very hard to get that network on the air and re-engage. And it's my personal belief that, that in the United States that poker is going through this government regulation and system of getting re-engaged online, but it's not going quickly, as you can see. It's going to be a couple more years. So by the time we can get things up and running here in Canada, and we've got some great venues up here to go, we hope to have that U.S. television network launched here as well. I think that poker is ready to go on its next major resurgence, and we're going to be there to hopefully provide a full media solution. We've got everything from building, running the events to having a national magazine, to then having a television network. So we've got complete vertical integration in the business model. I don't see any other company that has that full depth of integration, and I think it's something that's going to make this company worth a substantial amount of money down the road. So that will make my children very happy, the heirs to the throne, that Daddy's doing some good work.
I'll tell you what your network needs. I'll tell you right now.
What's that?
You need a little Mark Hoke.
Show?
Yeah, you need a little Mark Hoke in there.
Yeah.
I'm Canadian friendly, man. I did my time up in North Dakota. I spent a little time up in Canada.
if you have T-shirts that say that, I'd like one, please, in an extra large, and a ladies medium.
I'll work on that for you.
That sounds good. Hey, listen, something too. I'd like to invite your viewers to check out on our YouTube channel. It's actually up on our homepage as well on our CanadianPokerTour.tv. But we've got a number of additional interviews on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CanadianPokerTour. We got a little video up there. What makes us a little bit different? I don't know if you guys are noticing, but we're kind of kicking a little ass at the World Series next year, and we're planning on doing bigger and better this year. So there's a couple little things showing you why Canada stands out a little bit from the rest of the world. Some things we do that makes us, a little bit step above, in my ever so humble opinion. So we got the national anthem, we got players engaged, we have a great time. We had a players party the other night, but that was just fantastic. I just signed a deal. We've got a new official tequila of the Canadian Poker Tour, Don Raimundo. But I got to tell you something. It made for a very slow registration on Friday. and I got to tell you something. Management was operating just a couple less cylinders. We have a fantastic time. I got to tell you guys, there's a lot of reasons to come to Canada to play poker. Our friends, we partnered with Poker News Canada. It's a subdomain of Poker News in the U.S. Lane Anderson is running that, and Lyle Bateman is out here providing live event coverage. But Lane and I had a little chat. We put out an article recently on the 5 reasons you should be playing poker in Canada, and there's a couple of really important ones right off the top. There's no withholding tax up here. We get a little discouraged coming down there, especially now in New Jersey, California, with all this tax. And sure, it's a process you go through, and you can get most of it back. But up here, like our lotteries, there's no taxation on it. The U.S. dollar right now plus EV, you got you're coming up here for your expenses for traveling and food and a little bit of booze, which we pride ourselves on up here. It's you get nice little bonus with the value of the dollar. It's close. You can fly to Calgary direct from Vegas or LA in 2.5 hours. You can play when you're 18 in Alberta, 19 in BC, 18 in most of the country, and you got some added online equity. We got guys sitting here today grinding. They're playing the main, they're playing the bounty, but they're sitting there on their their iPods and their tablets and grinding the F-Tops main and playing a little online. So I encourage you guys to watch. Come on up here and play in Canada. It's we're a beautiful people. We invite you all.
I can tell you that every time I've gone to Canada, it's always just a pleasure because the people up there are so nice and they treat you incredibly well. And, if you got some great structures and things going on with the Canadian Poker Tour, it's a can't miss. And, it's beautiful up there too. I mean, as long as you're not coming up in the, dead of winter in December, when there's 3 feet of snow on the ground, you're all right. So.
Yeah, I do have to tell you, our tournament a month ago, you would have had a nice little minus 45 wind chill that we went through a week. But I'll tell you what, it's warming up. We're right beside the mountains in Banff. We got a couple of big things that we're working on right now, which I encourage you and all of your listeners to watch for, which is going to be a very big, very cool Stampede series that we're working on building. The Calgary Stampede, greatest outdoor show on earth. You got to it's one of those top 10 things you got to do in your life. But we're going to build a hell of a series, and then we're going to be doing the CPT Summer Showdown, very similar structure and series to this, but because of this, we're looking at bigger and better guarantees. So we might have to have you come up here, do your show from up here, and some of the most beautiful golf courses. You got Banff in the mountains. We're listen, like I say, it's there's no choice. You got to come up here.
Oh, count me in. Done.
You're in, buddy.
Boom. That'll work for me. I'm good with that. I'm always up for a trip.
But we're very good up here, so you better take bring your best game with you, because I got to tell you something. You look at the guys that are left here. We're down to 4 tables here now in the main event, and I'll tell you what, lots of familiar faces, not to you guys, but in this Western Canadian poker scene, guys with lots of deep runs in the WSOP and WPTs. There is a lot of skill, a lot of talent. I'm going to actually be doing a little speech once we get into the money here and throwing it down. Alberta, the province of Alberta, no WSOP bracelets. I think we're going to bring it home this year. I got about 20 guys that are in my tournament right now that are strong players. So, but I'll tell you what, we'd love to teach each and every one of you guys, invite you up here and give you a good old Canadian lesson in poker.
Oh, wow. Well, of course, Canada had such a great World Series last year, and do you have any, want to give us maybe a couple of names to shoot out there for maybe some other guys that we should be watching out for coming up at this year's World Series? See if you guys can do it again?
Yeah, well, actually, we got a couple of the big ones. We had Kalen McNeil, big wheel, with his bracelet from last year, and Dan Adema with his 2 bracelets. He's just waking up from a nap after a good night of partying last night. So he's coming in for the high roller. We've got Paul Brars headed some deep runs. We've got Ronnie Detani, Joel Bullock. There's Bash Ramahi from Edmonton. Oh my God! There's about 20 of them that are just the guys that just constantly cash. So we're going to be putting some articles out on the ones to watch for going after an Alberta bracelet. So we encourage every one of your viewers to follow us on Twitter at CPT Online, like us on their Facebook page, the Canadian Poker Tour. This is a special. Like there's an article Poker News Canada put out, the best unknown poker tour in the world here right now, and this is the place to come up and play. We would love to see you all.
Well, I think it's going to, obviously going to have a great finish here to the CPT Spring Showdown Stampede Classic coming up. We got Canadian Open Poker Championships, all sorts of things going on. So make sure you guys head over to CanadianPokerTour.tv. Take a look. Some big things coming from Kelly and the guys. So there you go. Kelly, good luck with the rest of the event. I wish you all the best, and stay in touch with my friend, and we'll maybe arrange a trip to the Great White North.
Sounds great. Get your passports ready. Come on up. We're going to show you a great time. Thanks very much, Mark.
It's sitting right over here, buddy. It's ready to go.
Beautiful.
All right. Take care, my friend. Good luck up there.
Take care, buddy. Bye-bye.
All right. There you go. Kelly Kellner, everybody, of the Canadian Poker Tour. Whoops. And, we're going to get some excellent music going on there, too. All right. Yeah. We had a little music has interrupted us there. We'll take care of that, and we'll get Nate Dowland back on the line. That was fun. Got to hit that stop button. But we'll get Nate back on the line here and continue talking. Joe Payne coming up here in just a little bit. We've also got, the boys in the chat box are firing it up too. Casino Examiner just blasting away, isn't he? That's all right. What's up, Nate?
What's up, Mark?
What's up? There we go.
Fun interview, but I didn't hear him say anything about Mike Leah.
Yeah, that's true. Mike is from that area.
Yeah, and talk about sick 2 rings in one day, 18 hours. Oh, come on.
Well,
I'm scared of Canadians. I don't want to play against Canadians.
They're very good because you know that a lot of times in Canada, I can tell you that spending time in North Dakota, a similar climate area to a point. When you get in the winter, there's only a couple things to do. That's play cards, drink, and get laid.
Similar.
I mean, that's
similar climate. That's Minnesota, northern Michigan. That's similar climate. If the people around you aren't saying the word "a" every third word,
I got used to it.
You're not in the right spot.
I was there, absolutely. Got a lot of that going on. But I mean, and I tell you, it sounds like a great time up there with the Canadian Poker Tour. I mean, I've gotten to work with those guys a couple times before, and they do run some amazing events up there. It is definitely worth the time to swing up there. And it is, and that's one thing that people forget over here in the western part of the United States. It is a quick flight to get up to a lot of those cities in Western Canada, and it's good to see them really, popping off some great events up there. So I would,
after Labor Day up to a little before, I'd say Halloween, I'd drive, because the views, the spectacular views of the leaves changing and everything. That's the only time of year I'd want to go up to Canada.
It's beautiful. Well, I went up to Winnipeg in the late spring, early summer one year, and tell you what, just beautiful place up there. And a lot of the cities are just spectacular. And that's why a lot of players, when Black Friday hit, Vancouver actually became one of the hearts of of poker players playing up. Adam Levy and a lot of guys went up to Vancouver to keep things rolling. So check it out, guys. CanadianPokerTour.tv.
Maybe I'll move to Canada. Maybe that's going to be my next stop.
A second residence would be all right. I could handle it.
Oh, Mark, I know you haven't been a Nevada resident very long, but we had one of the most freedom-driven issues going on right here in Clark County this past week.
Oh my God! Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later on. I think I definitely wanted to hit on that because, man, we all started the American Revolution out here.
Yeah, it was real close.
I wouldn't have complained. Jesus.
Real close.
I'm not exactly into government overthrow, but I'm sure I'm into throwing the government out. Bunch of boneheads.
They got the government to pack up and go.
They did. Whether the guy was in the right or the wrong, is a different story. But Wow.
But our American militia worked just fine.
Yep, that is very true.
What a greasy wheel that really is. It was nice to see.
I agree. I was good with it. I was good with everything that happened out there. All right. Well, hey, we have Joe Payne coming up in a little bit, and we are going to be breaking down the Phil Ivey cheating lawsuit situation with the Borgata. And, we'll kind of give everybody instructions on how you can pull the same thing off. Just, may not be looking for the 9.6 mil. But there is a method behind this madness. So we're going to get to talk about that in just a little while with Joe Payne from the Nevada Poker League. And, of course, legendary blackjack player coming up. And Casino Examiner, don't be afraid to come on the show. It's okay. Really.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. I've had everybody on this show. I mean, literally. And I think I've got to be pushing about 400. And I have to do the recount, but it's got to be around like 440, 400, ballpark shows.
And just think of it as a conference call, not really a radio.
Yeah.
It's a conference call. You're just talking to your friends, your buddies, your pals, telling us your stories, countries, your experience. It's fun.
Yeah, 105 countries, no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all right. But by the way, Nate, I got to tell you, the podcast's doing great. The numbers keep going up and up, and we do appreciate that. If you have not downloaded or subscribed to our podcast yet, you can either go to iTunes or go to markhokeshow.podbean.com. People are digging the show. That makes me very happy.
And you can go to podbean.com right on your Android phone and listen right on your Android phone without downloading anything too. So, I really enjoy that. As soon as you pull it up, I always play it. I'm either one or two as the first listener on there. So I even love listening to the show and I'm there live.
Yeah. So, and of course, don't forget coming up on Wednesday's show on KLAV 1230 AM, the Talk of Las Vegas. And of course, you can also join us on the internet at KLAV1230am.com, the newly revamped site, looking really good. Lauren Kling's going to be joining us. I might have to move the chair a little bit closer to the right for that one. just a little bit. But if I put Lauren in the corner, then she can't run away. No, I'll keep her. I'll keep her to my right. I'll be nice.
I've played her many times over on Ultimate Poker. She's fun to talk to. She's fun to chit chat with.
Yeah, so gonna be fun to
I
talk
have to
to.
get a haircut, Mark. I can't yet. I can't. It wouldn't be right because I'm not going to shave until the Red Wings are out of the playoffs or until they have the cup. So
You better trim that thing down, man.
Hey,
end up going all Daniel Bryan
it's
on us.
95 degrees out there right now. Jeez,
Yeah, so why do you want a beard?
It's
That's
hockey
stupid.
season, my friend. It's the playoffs.
Oh, come on. You don't have to have a beard.
It's just because you have a losing team doesn't mean anything.
What, my Philadelphia Flyers, they're doing just fine. Thank you very much. They're spanking
Are they?
Doodleson. Yeah.
How many years in a row have they made the playoffs?
Dude, one of the storied franchises in the NHL? Come on.
23. Can you beat it?
No.
My team has made the playoffs more often. It's older than
Wait,
most
who's
of the
your
good
team?
teams out there.
Who's your
now.
team?
The Detroit Red Wings, my friend.
Well, they're the one of the original six. No shite. Come on, man. You could repair an original six? That's not fair. All I know is we had the two greatest teams in hockey history with the Broad Street Bullies. That was fun. I was young, but I watched videos. I wouldn't want to play those teams. Jesus Christ, they'll freaking hurt you. I miss those days. Dave Schultz and the boys. Yeah, we got hockey going on. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't get to recap WrestleMania either.
Recap.
Oh, WrestleMania was good this year.
The only thing that matters to me about that is Ultimate Warrior passed away.
Oh, how horrible is that?
And that was just from abusing his body for so long with different chemicals and whatnot to make himself look like the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, the Ultimate Warrior, if you didn't hear, of course, a former World Wrestling Federation champion, just had been inducted in the Hall of Fame that Friday night, was on Monday Night Raw on Monday and Tuesday, gone. Collapsed walking with his wife out to their car in Arizona, and that was it. Boy, that was kind of, if you heard the Monday Night Raw speech, it was kind of a little eerie, just a little bit. But he did look a little off that night. He was trying to shake the ropes, and like he always did. If you don't follow wrestling, he would come in and he'd shake take the top rope and just shake it like crazy. And those are steel cables in there, so that wasn't the easiest thing in the world to do. He could barely get those things to move when he tried it this last Monday night. So I don't know, maybe he knew something was coming. I don't know, but if you Google that speech, that'll put a chill down your spine. But yeah, rest in peace, Jim Hellwig, the Ultimate Warrior. Wow.
Right. And he wasn't a dumb man. I mean, he was a chiropractor before he started wrestling. He was a very very smart guy.
How'd you like to have that son of a bitch be your chiropractor?
I'd love it.
Oh, my
Somebody
God.
could actually crack my back.
I would walk in there, I'd be like, okay, make an appointment here. We'll call this guy. And you go in, and there's the Ultimate Warrior ready to adjust you. That would be, oh, my God. I'd be so scared. I mean, I've dealt with big chiropractors before, but nobody like him. Holy shit, that would have been bad. Oh. Hey, by the way, if you're in the chat box as a guest, we'd love to have you to sign in. All you got to do is Let's try that again. All you have to do is go to ustream.tv, get a username, sign in, and you can chat with us on the show. Certainly appreciate that. We got to start busting that thing out for the KLAV show, too, just to make things really confusing.
Good idea.
I think you'll be in charge of that, Nate.
I love being in charge of things, Mark.
Oh, I have no idea where that's going, but we're just going to let it go. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to Joe Payne here from the Vada Poker League. Should be a interesting conversation with a guy who knows how to get an edge in a game. He's the man. So
he knows how to get kicked out of a casino well, too.
Yeah, that too. So stick around.
Can't even use the front door at the Rio.
Yeah. So stick around, everybody. We'll be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for joining us.
Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com and call now for today's free winner at 1-855-489-3500. That's 1-855-489-3500. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
Do you dream? Do you dream big? The WSOP Academy can help make that big dream a big reality. If you want to learn more about the game of poker, we're here to teach you, and we can do it better than anyone else. With the most bracelet-winning pros, the biggest prize pools, the lowest student-to-instructor ratio, and the highest student success rate. No other live poker instruction can compare. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a poker beginner, after you attend one of our classes, you'll walk away with a broader understanding of the game, greater appreciation of the skill that it takes to win, and a roadmap to advance your game as far as you want. Whether you're trying to improve your tournament game or cash game, the WSOP Academy will raise your game and your confidence to a world-class level. Visit WSOPAcademyLive.com to register for your game-changing academy today. Use promo code HOKE to save a bet.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Your business and promotion will only go as far as your website will take you. That's why the Mark Hoke Show has only trusted one name for over 2 years, BlueRail.net. Whether you need custom website design and development packages, or simply need a host for your website, Blue Rail is the only developer to turn to. It's time to discover the world-class personalized service only the Blue Rail team can provide. Visit us at BlueRail.net and call 520-822-5128 right now for your free consultation today. So get on board at BlueRail.net. How far do you want to go?
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Yeah, we're back, baby. What's up? We're going to get into some Phil Ivey news coming up here in just a little bit with Joe Payne from the Nevada Poker League. And make sure if you guys come out to the World Series, you need a little break. The grind is getting to you. You're flipping out. Go to NevadaPokerLeague.com. You can play poker for free. Maybe pick up on $75 or $100. Have a great time at one of 17 locations. And I think I'm going to be buzzing down to their newest one at PT's tonight.
Oh, really? You're going to go down there? That's where they're giving away 2 bills, right?
Yeah. I can't remember. I'll have to look. But go to NevadaPokerLeague.com and say hi to those guys. And, of course, don't forget the Mark Hoke Show. We got a lot of great offers from our sponsors. Of course, our good friends at Arctic Blue Cooling Towels. Go to ArcticBLU.com. You get 15% off plus free shipping when you put in the code Mark Hoke Show. And I believe we're going to have some of those for sale at the World Series this year.
Cool.
So not bad. I mean, if you need something to cool you off, and Lord knows it's going to be 110, 120 degrees out here in Las Vegas, you're going to need it. Plus, of course, your workouts, taking the kids to the amusement park, those things are great for kids. They really are. So if you got a family, this is something that you can keep the kids chilled out a little bit when I'm hot. Here, bam. So those things will hold the cold for up to 5 hours, maybe even beyond. That's all I tested it for before I gave up and said I can't break this thing. So make sure you go to ArcticBLU.com. Blind Squirrel Apparel, we've got 20% off with the code HOKE, H-O-K-E. So go ahead and check out BlindSquirrelApparel.com. They're going to be on sale at the World Series in the store. So, and of course, they are available here in Las Vegas in all the Missouri stores. So you can go to BlindSquirrelApparel.com. Pick that up today. Look good. Be lucky. Blind Squirrel Apparel. We also have our good friends at Off Tilt Poker Tables. Make sure you get OffTiltPokerTables.com. Brand new table, kids. Anything you need, Brian can build it. The coffee table size ones, televised table ones, whatever you need, RFID. You can pick it up from Brian at OffTiltPokerTables.com today. We also have the Poker Notes Live app is out there. And if you download the premium app, plus go to Poker Face News and sign up for their newsletter, you enter a drawing every week, and they're going to refund you for the premium version of the Poker Notes Live. So it's $10. So, hey, you know what? Can't hurt. Go download the app. Just go to PokerNotesLive.com. We also have, let's see who else are good friends. Good friends at Team Poker Joker. We might have a few Poker Joker hats out at the World Series from what I'm hearing. Grin and win. Check them out at TeamPokerJoker.com. All sorts of great stuff over there. So take a look at that. We also have our friends at Final 9 Comic. The first issue is available for download, and they're going to be cranking the next ones out here pretty shortly. So make sure you go to final9comic.com. It is something to behold. Apparently, I may be making an appearance in one of these comics coming up. So if you really want to laugh, I'm going to tell Anish to take about 75 pounds off me.
And put it where?
Get me back to high school weight. But go to final9comic.com. We also have our good friends at Double Digit Covers. Tony Dose, I'll tell you what, especially the first week of the baseball season, he didn't miss a game for a week. It was ridiculous. If you want to you got the NHL playoffs, you got the NBA playoffs, and Major League Baseball. Did you know, Nate, when you can bet a football game, you can usually bet like $100,000 on a football game. You know, they only let you bet about $5,000 or $10,000 on baseball and basketball. You know why?
Why?
Because the people that study have the advantage, and that's why they cut that down. So if you want to make some money right now, man, give them a call. You can either go to doubledigitcovers.com. You can sign up for free picks sent to your phone, or call during the week. Actually, I think the guys are taking a day off tomorrow. They'll be back in on Tuesday. 855-489-2700 is the number to call, so make sure you check them out. Good friends at BlueRail.net. Of course, Bob Lusk and the team ready to build your website. Web hosting for $9? $9!
That's sick.
Good God, go to BlueRail.net. They can build anything you need for your website, and you're going to get personalized customer service. You're not going to be calling overseas to someone you maybe not be able to understand. Bob will take care of you, so make sure you go to BlueRail.net. All right. So that's taken care of. Joe Payne coming up here on the Mark Hoke Show. But, of course, you want to get in on that Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series. Still time. Just if you haven't registered for the tournament yet, get in there and do so. If you haven't registered for the club, well, jerks, what are you doing? Go to PokerStars.net, download the software, click on the Home Games tab. Club ID is 629454. That's 629454. 629454. Password is Roguewire. That's Roguewire, and you can get yourself into the club. I'll let you in there. You can register and have some fun with that.
Don't forget about the WSOP Academy.
I can't.
Down in New Orleans with Phil Gordon.
Oh, yeah, and I think we're going to have Phil on the KLAV show at some point, too. Or get him on this somewhere, but sometime. But I swear to God, I'm going to tackle him at the World Series.
That would be funny. You tackling him, what are you going to do? Grab his knees?
Always go low, brother. Always go low.
You have to jump to grab his knees.
Funny. Go to WSOPAcademyLive.com. And if you put in the promo code Hoke or give them a call and give them the promo code Hoke, you're going to get a great discount on their clinics. So make sure you check it out. Go to WSOPAcademyLive.com. Up yours, Nate. I'm looking more and more like a bowling ball every day the last few weeks, so I'll just knock him down.
You and Phil Hellmuth standing next to each other with Phil Gordon like in between, that would be just a great sight.
Oh, God. All right. Well, let's get Joe Payne on the line here. So, Nate, I'll say goodbye to you for a little bit. Let's say hi to Joe. Joe, what's up, my friend?
Hello, Mark.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, what's new with you? How'd that WSOP league that you're luck boxing do?
I'm sorry?
How did your WSOP league doing that you're luck boxing?
Tom went out after me today, so he got one step on me today. But I did pretty strong. I finished with 12 players left to go out of 30, so picked up enough points. When are we going on the air? What time?
Right now.
Oh, we are on the air right now?
You're on the air right now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How about that? Pretty sneaky, huh?
How about that? Okay, cool.
I just hit a magic button and off we go. So, well, Joe, tell us a little bit about this WSOP league you're playing, and just real quick, because you've got some pretty tough players you're playing against to try and win that main event seat.
We have I put together this league 3 years ago. There's 30 players, real strong players too. We have Tom McAvoy, obviously World Series poker champion. We have a number of players who play in this league who have multiple World Series cashes and bracelets and final tables. So it's a pretty strong group. We meet once a month from August to May. We pay $165 a month, and we give away 16 World Series seats, one $10,000 seat, 4 $2,500 seats, and 11 $1,500 seats. And if you happen to be one of the 16 players out of 30, which is real strong, in other words, you just have to be at least halfway better than the rest of the field, you're going to get yourself a World Series seat. If you happen to cash, you keep 50% of whatever you win, and you turn back 50% into the club, and that's divided among the other 29 players. So even if you do really bad, you have at least 16 players playing in the World Series for you, one of them in the main event. And we've had cashes every year that we've put this tournament on. So we've had multiple cashes in the last 3 years, and we're hoping not big cashes, though, 4,000, 6,000, 8,000. We are waiting for the one of our players to do a pretty deep run in the main event, which obviously be very fruitful for all of us.
I want in next year, Joe. I'll play it.
What's that?
I want in next year. Let me in.
Okay, if you want in, you're in.
All right.
That's based upon. I'm sure we're probably going to have a pretty strong return. We're limited to 30 players. I mean, we probably could go more, but 30 seems to be the right number. It's pretty affordable at $165 a month. So technically, you're paying $1,650 over a 10-month period. We also, in addition to the 16 World Series seats, we do have a $1,000 prize pool every month. $500 for first, $300 for second, and $200 for third. Now today, when they got down to five-handed, they chopped $200 a piece. But you do have to play it out because points are awarded for, based upon where you finish. So,
right.
It's not like a chop in a regular tournament where you chop it 3 or 4 ways and everyone leaves. Even though they chop the money, the players must play it out to determine who gets what seed.
Now, it sounds like a lot of fun. So, maybe one
It's
of you.
a lot of fun, and it's one big family. We have a lot of players who played since the first. This league actually started in my home with 2 tables, and I was able to fit 2 poker tables with 21 players, and then we grew to 30, and then it became too tight in my house. With 3 poker tables, 2 dogs, 2 parrots, and a wife. It's just it was just a little tight, so we moved it to the Tropicana Poker Room, which we love being there. But then, as you know, that closed, and then we were able to come to an agreement with the Stratosphere, and this is our 2nd year at the Stratosphere.
You can always throw the wife out, Joe. Come on. That's going to get you like 2/3 of your space back. Don't tell Sissy I said that.
Yeah, I will not.
That'll get me in trouble. Well, Joe, of course, one of the big topics here in poker right now is this whole situation with Phil Ivey and getting in a little bit of trouble here with the Borgata. I have a nice little diagram here explaining what he did in these Baccarat games. But why don't you, from your perspective, break this down and tell everybody what this whole thing is all about?
Okay. Well, first of all, the whole carding, the casinos, not only here in Nevada, but all over the country and all over the world, would like you to believe that if you're gaining information because either a flaw in their game or a dealer who's not properly trained, the casinos would like you to think that would be illegal to do that. But if you're playing in a game in a casino in a seat that the casino provides for you to observe the game, you're playing with the cards that the casino plays with, and you're playing with the chips that they issue to you, and you're not using anything mechanical to either improve your vision other than prescription glasses, which, I mean, if you need glasses, you need glasses. But as long as you're not using anything that would be not necessary for you to have at the table. In other words, if you need glasses, you need glasses. But if you can see something at a table because of either a weak dealer or a imperfection in the cards, and you're smart enough to realize that, hey, like in Phil Ivey's case, hey, the 9s in this deck are not the printing on the when it came from the card manufacturer. There was a flaw in how the card printing ended on the edge of the card. Phil was astute enough to notice that, observe it, and him and I believe a partner used that to their advantage. He actually did the casino a favor by winning so much money and brought them to realize there's something wrong with the game. And then when they looked at it, they realized there was an imperfection in the card. And Phil was taking advantage, and his partner was taking advantage of the imperfection, which is totally legal. I mean, there's an actual Supreme Court case. It's called the Endbinder case. It's Endbinder versus the state of Nevada. It was a Supreme Court case where 2 players, their names are Stephen Endbinder and Tony Dobbin, were playing at the Golden Nugget back on November 22nd, 1983, and Tony was able to see the dealer's whole card, and he was signaling to Stephen Einbinder what the whole card was. And if you have knowledge of what the whole card is, you're playing with anywhere between a 15 to 20% advantage over the casino, which is huge. I mean, the best card counters in the world maybe are playing with a 2% edge, maybe 3 sometimes based upon the count. So if you're having a double-digit advantage over casino hole carding. It's a huge advantage, but totally legal. Now, if you go back to the movie Casino, where if you remember where they took the cowboy in the back and they cattle prod him and pretty much beat the stuffings out of him, what they were doing in that game was called spooking, where the cowboy was sitting at a different table before they had the little pickers for the dealer to look if they had a blackjack. So he was seeing something that was not visible from a selected seat at that table. He was sitting on a table that was behind the dealer's right shoulder, and when the dealer looked down the peak to see if he or she had a blackjack, if they didn't, he would signal from table A over to table B as to what the dealer's hole card is. That is called spooking, and that is totally illegal. But if you're seeing any or gathering any information on a seat that the casino provides for you at the table you're playing, you are within 100% of being totally legal. It'd be like eating an apple in a field surrounded by butterflies, and you're doing nothing wrong. It's the casino's responsibility to either A, train their dealers correctly so they're not exposing their whole card, or make sure when they get cards from a card manufacturer that there's not a flaw in the printing. Plain and simple.
Yeah, and just to kind of break down what Phil and his apparent partner did on this. The casino has the cards that are printed incorrectly, so that some of them will have a different edge, so you can see that. Then the player sees that, and then obviously then those cards get in play. The croupier or the dealer starts dealing the cards out, and then the player checks the cards. Now, one thing, I want to stop there for a second because the diagram that I have that explains this out, which I just put in the chat box, Phil, apparently one of them did was ask them to tilt the card to expose the value. Now, why would that be something that a player could do, or why would a dealer do it?
As far as, I had a little trouble hearing you. As far as seeing the edge of the card?
Because what they allege happened is, they'll see those cards, and then the player, they actually get the dealer to tilt the card to expose its value, and then the companion there says, well, he's superstitious, and he gets him to spin the card around, so then they can tell, based on the back of the card, which ones they can't see. But I would ask, why would the dealer actually flip a card up in a situation like that? I mean, honestly, I don't play much Baccarat, so I have no idea why that could happen.
I don't know, but that worries me that the dealer was doing something that's not within the standard procedures when they're dealing a hand in Baccarat. When a player asks you to turn the card around, if I'm the dealer and or the shift manager or floor person, that would immediately raise suspicion. Why would the player want me to turn the card around? I would immediately think that there must be some sort of flaw that the player has noticed. So in all actuality, if that's exactly what happened, and I know you were not there and I was not there, if that's what happened, then I'm going to tell you that this is even more a liability on the casino's part, that they were made aware either by verbal or some sort of signals from the player who asked for something that is not normal. Hey, can you turn that card around? Why would you want to, immediately the dealer has to wonder why would the player want the card to be turned around. It's a request that's not ordinary, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of this comes down to, the casino's putting some cards in play that they shouldn't have in play, that they didn't inspect well enough to make sure that they weren't right. The dealer's is making a mistake and doing a request that they really shouldn't be doing. So
it's a strange request.
Yeah, so and that was what they said happened with Phil at the London casino. Now Borgata, I'm assuming from everything that I've read that it's a similar situation, but boy, I'll tell you, I mean, if they were doing all these things at the table at the request of the player, plus they have bad cards in play, I don't know how they win this lawsuit.
Right. Yeah, the casino is 100% at fault here, and I think they're trying to make. And I think because it's still Ivy, I think they're picking their spots. He's a high-profile player who's been known to lose and win lots of money in casinos. So I would think that they're picking their spots here. But, in any card room, It's their equipment, so to speak. And if their equipment is not up to par, it's not the player's fault.
Right, and from the article that I have talking about, more detailing on this case, they're saying the casino claims the technique called edge sorting violates New Jersey casino gambling regulations, and says the cards were defective in that the pattern on the back was not uniform. That they had the tops like cut diamonds, like I have in that diagram in there. So
right.
Boy, I'll tell you, I mean, it's just a weird situation. And I know with blackjack, you guys deal with this all the time with, being able to count cards and having an advantage there that, if the casino doesn't do anything to provide to stop the advantage from happening, what standing do they have? That's what I don't get on this.
And Mark, what's funny about this? This is not the first time this has happened. And casinos share information worldwide. So when this has happened multiple times, you would think that if I'm the owner of a casino and I have somebody who is my casino manager and he's aware this problem has existed before, you know what? You better have better quality control on the cards you put out on the tables. If there's a flaw, if Phil Ivey can see it, and he's not would be really able to really closely scrutinize the cards, the casino manager and his staff, the people who can absolutely closely scrutinize the cards before they put them in play, these are the people that are at fault here. Not Phil Ivey, or not anyone else who sees a flaw in a game or a kink in the armor, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and you get to this point where they're telling the players to turn the cards around, and apparently even Phil said wanted the cards to be put in an automatic shuffling machine so that wouldn't change the alignment of the cards. I mean, there's got to be some red flags going up there at some point, saying, "Hey, you know what? Something goofy's going on here."
They spend. What's really ironic, and as an advantage player, which I am obviously, the casinos spend millions of dollars trying to combat advantage players, and for the amount of money that most of us can beat them for, they wind up spending more than they actually could lose. So they hire people to watch the games for game quality control. But what they're doing is they're having one guy on the floor who has to watch 6 games. I mean, there is no human possibly alive that can fully have good game protection if you have one person trying to watch 6 live games go on at the same time. So the casinos are trying to cut back on their staffing and their health insurance. But what they're doing is they're leaving themselves wide open that when they do have a flaw in a game, it's not detected so quickly. And it's only detected after they get hit for a whole bunch of money.
Now,
it would probably be cheaper to hire somebody, put more staffing on the floor so they can watch the game properly.
Yeah, rather than lose $9 million. just a thought there. Well, in terms of how this affects gambling in general, and maybe a game like the game that Phil was playing at Baccarat tables, is Phil rolling up these massive amounts of money, does that hurt the rest of the gambling community in that now Phil, because of Phil doing this now twice for massive amounts of money, that the average guy that may have seen this and isn't exploiting it for millions of dollars but maybe is trying to pick up a couple thousand here and there, how badly does it hurt those guys?
Well, you know what, this town was built on greed, and lots of people move here and lots of people leave because they get greedy. Is Phil Ivey greedy? Phil Ivey plays big stakes. I mean, he's been known to lose $1 million at a crap table. So, his winning that amount of money sounds like a lot of money to you, me, and the average schmo. But, and I'm not calling you schmo, by the way, but
That's
I'm
okay.
just trying to say the average gambler. But, there are people out there who are banging these games out and taking advantage of imperfections in cards and sloppy dealers. But, it's almost like when you're a card counter. Should you split 10s in a positive count against 5s or 6s? Absolutely. But does that ruin your longevity playing the game because only 2 people split 10s, real smart players and real dumb players. And once you split 10s against a 5 or 6 and the floor is notified and they come over, it's not going to take them long to figure out that you're a smart player. So is it the right mathematical play to split 10 against a 5 or 6 in a positive count? Absolutely. But for longevity purposes, you don't do it because it just raises a red flag. Now, Solari won, I'm not sure exactly the amount of money he won, both over in Europe, which he still hasn't got paid for, and now this casino here. The amount of money that he won has brought an awful lot of attention to the game now. So has he ruined it for other players? Yeah, but in this kind of dog-eat-dog world, Solari's out there trying to win as much money as he can because he's got a pretty expensive gaming habit, so to speak. When he's at the crap table, there's thousands of dollars on every roll. Where if you and I are at the crap table, we might have $50, $60 on a roll. So it's all relative, But has he put a big spotlight on this? Absolutely. But like I said before, Mark, this spotlight has been on this problem before, and the casinos are actually holding the ball on this one because they know about it. It's happened before, and it still happened again. So as far as I'm concerned, they're 100% wrong here.
Yeah, and it's certainly become a very interesting topic now with casino security, with what has happened with these cases, what happened at the Borgata, what else, at the Palm Beach Kennel Club. We're going to see a lot of changes, I think, in the gaming industry coming up because of these situations. I mean, look what happened at Borgata. Those guys, having to put out the chips with the black lights and whatever other devices they've got.
They did the RFI chips, and they did that to try to track where these chips were going because a lot of advantage players were winning these chips and then having the problem cashing them, and they would have to use Confederates to cash them. But now with the RFID in the chips, they know exactly who has the chips and who won them, and you're the only one who can go up to that window and cash them. If you send somebody up there who has no record of ever having played at that level or walking away from the table with one of those chips, they're going to not cash those chips, and you're going to have to prove where you got the chips from. I believe Nolan Dollar, who you've had on your show, he had a $5,000 chip that a friend gave him to pay off a bet between them. And when Nolan Dollar went to the MGM to cash the chip, they refused to cash the chip because there was no record of him actually having won that chip at a table, and they confiscated the chip from him.
Oh, wow!
That happened about 2 or 3 years ago.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Rowan resolved that. Did he actually get the $5,000 back from the guy because he never got the cash and gave the guy the receipt for the chip? The casino, they want you to show ID when you're cashing chips, but they don't care about ID when you buy in at the table.
Right.
Buy in all you want, but when you try to cash, you have to give them your firstborn son in order to cash any chips over $1,000.
I kind of get the feeling when you hear a story like this, it just really pisses you off, doesn't it?
I'm sorry, I had trouble hearing that question.
I kind of get the feeling that when you hear a story like this pop up, it really pisses you off, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. These casinos, they keep on building them bigger and with bigger lights. They're making a ton of money, and they cry like a little baby when somebody's a little smarter than they are, And it's a shame because, there is no sign in any casino I've ever seen when I walk in that says, check your brain at the door. And that's what they would like you to do. They would like you to check your brain at the door.
Yep, some fascinating stuff there. Well, Joe, of course, before I let you get rolling here, I want to make sure you get to tell everybody a little bit about what's going on with the Nevada Poker League. Some great stuff happening there, and you got a new venue coming up tonight if you're in Las Vegas.
Yep. PT's and PT's Pub coming up tonight, which is on right up to 215 in Russell, Nevada Poker League. We are expanding and growing. We give away cash every night. We give away close to $18,000 every 12 weeks in addition to a $10,000 seat to the World Series of Poker. You can go to our website, which is NevadaPokerLeague.com, and check out all the locations and all the prizes. And you don't even have to be a local to play. If you're in town for 3 or 4 days, no matter what bar or restaurant that we're in or you stop in, if you're the top point earner for the night, you'll either win $100 cash or $50 cash or a $25 gift card. So we give away cash every night, and we give away end-of-season cash and prizes also. We're actually currently giving away 15 Mexican poker cruises that leaves out of L.A. November 2nd to November 8th of 2014. So if you'd like to go on a poker cruise, and actually even Linda Johnson is coming on our poker cruise this year. So Linda Johnson and Tom McAvoy will be our two pros that will be attending this cruise with us. So.
Oh God, hide the booze bottles, everybody! Look out. It's gonna be trouble. Well,
yeah, a lot of exciting things going on with the Nevada Poker Week.
You bet. Well, Joe, hey, thanks for coming on the show tonight and giving us your insight on this whole situation. You know, you're one of the best around when it comes to these things, so we certainly do appreciate it. And I will hopefully see you tonight.
My pleasure talking to all your listeners. The Mark Hoke Show, it's that's something you need to listen to if you want to know what's going on in the poker world.
Well, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, I will speak to you later, buddy. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
There you go. Joe Payne, everybody. Very good stuff there from Joe. Of course, one of the great blackjack players of all time. And, yeah, this whole Phil Ivey thing is just absolutely nuts. I got to tell you, it sure seems like they made a big mistake there. A lot of mistakes, actually. Let's get Nate Dowland back on the line, and we'll continue to talk about that. Nate, what did you think of that?
What's up? That was great.
Yeah. Yeah, so just to once again to give everybody, a little bit of a breakdown once again on what they are alleging that Phil did in both these situations. So here's casino mistake, that the cards that they bought are misprinted. Okay, so if a player sees that, they'll note that as you go through, it'd be like, if you had a full sheet of paper with like a diamond pattern like they're demonstrating on the link I sent. They miscut it just a little bit, so as they go through each card when they're printing it off, the edge shifts just a little bit as it goes, so the pattern changes.
And the reason why that is because those cards are usually ran on an extruder. They're plastic cards, so they're ran on an extruder that automatically cuts them. So each one of those nines, because all the nines are printed at the same time, they're not all off like a. So it's just the way they're being cut, and each one of them was off. So he knew what was going on and why, and because of the lawsuit in the UK, the Borgata, right, was able to do a little bit of research in how they just lost $9 million to him, and it was the same issue.
Right. Yeah. So then the player sees these cards, and then as those cards get into play, they're dealing them out. And then what apparently Phil and whoever he was with at the time.
That was Kim Young-soon. He is a genius, an absolute genius. So he's about 30 years old. He's a professor. He's got like 6 different masterates and all types of different things where the statistics in cards is nothing to him, and the minute details that he's studied in his life lets him see that almost instantly.
Right. And then, so the cards get into play, and then Phil is actually, I believe, using a female, I don't want to say accomplice, but partner, and would get the dealer to tilt each card to expose the value, and he's looking for 8s and 9s, which are the best cards for Baccarat. And then their companion would also get the person to turn the card and say, look, he's superstitious. Can you spin that card around? And for some reason they did it. And then when you take those cards and you put them in an automatic shuffler, they will come out so that it's very easy to see
the same edge.
The same edge, and and then all of a sudden what cards are coming, and off you go.
You know how to place your bets.
Yep. So, I mean, I tell you what, I understand that New Jersey apparently, has some regulations in place on this, but why did you even? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get my sound. Baccarat. I apologize. See, I don't play Baccarat. I'm a poker player. I play a little blackjack. Baccarat. Yeah, let's just call it Baccarat. But it seems like this is a real error on the casino's part in terms of monitoring the cards, monitoring their dealers, monitoring what's happening in the game. That's their job to stay on top of this stuff.
Also named in the lawsuit is Gemico, who's a large manufacturer of playing cards, and they're the ones that made those cards. And it's ultimately the casino's fault for putting those cards in play without examining them, especially when in other instances the casinos have been caught ordering set decks. You've heard of this, haven't you, Mark?
Yeah.
Where they just had an issue where they were putting the decks in, and they were supposed to be dealt a specific way. Well, and that's not cheating.
Interesting, isn't it?
There's no randomness there, but somebody found a flaw there also and was taking advantage of that the casinos just tried to sue.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how all this turns out for everybody. But Phil Ivey, now has got about $20 million on the line here. That's pretty rough.
Well, and his contract with MGM.
Yeah, because he's in a little bit of trouble with them too. Because of course,
he's in violation of the contract because he is one of their faces.
Yeah, and of course, he works with Aria, which is part of the MGM Corporation. So off you go, kids. Let's see how this all turns out. Yeah, what a mess. But hey, but still some great stuff going on in poker. And, of course, our big tournament today coming up, Event 14 of the Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series. PokerStars.net is your download. I can't even say it without cracking my voice doing a little Peter Brady there. Get on the Home Games tab. Club ID is 629-454. That's 629-454. Password is Roguewire. And you can get in on the action. Still plenty of chances to get enough points to get into this tournament. Now, you're going to have to hustle it a little bit.
But there's only 8 enrolled right now, so come on over and try it.
Yeah, we're up to 12. I think we're at 12 or 13 I'm looking at right now. But, just taking a look at the standings right now, let me pop that up here. There we go. I'd say maybe the top 10 are safe. Maybe. Yeah, I'd probably say top 10 are safe. But the last 8 spots, and it's still way up for grabs. I mean, that's a couple of high finishes, and people are going to bite the dust. So, get on in there. Plenty of chance for you. And if you can pull off a win tonight, good shot will get you in the top 18. So,
if I pull off a win tonight, that's going to take me into the number 1 spot.
It will. It will. Well, you just got to beat Brisk tonight and score.
So come on over and keep me down. Try to beat me some way.
Yep, and of course, championship event coming up. Should be about 3 or 4 weeks from now. Of course, we have 2 events after today plus the championship, but we do have Easter in the mix. So, of course, we will not be here next week because it is Easter. No offense, but I'm not that crazy. So we'll be having the championship event coming up in a few weeks. So make sure you get in here. It's going to be a good time, and we're looking forward to seeing all of you playing for that brand new custom poker table from Off-Tilt Poker Tables. So we send right to your house. They'll drop it on your doorstep.
Uh-oh.
They will. They will. I've had one dropped on my doorstep.
Good.
It's a lot of fun. All right. So how about we step back for a little bit? We're going to take a break, come back, and get ready for this event number 14, the Off-Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series, starting at 5 Pacific time, so we're 17 minutes out. Still a little bit of time to get in there, so we'd love to have you join in. And we'll keep talking about all these great topics we had. Of course, Kelly Kellner from the Canadian Poker Tour joining us, along with Joe Payne. So stick around, everybody, and we will be right back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thanks for joining us.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
Now, let's return to the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
Oh, you bet your ass I am. What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. I didn't get to look at what's going on in the Masters, Nate. We got to check that out. I saw Bubba Watson had retaken the lead from the kid.
I've only been watching it on Twitter. Does that make any sense?
I'll tell you, how much has our society changed in the last 10 years? It's ridiculous. Yep, and it is over out of the Masters. It is, as ESPN.com is saying, double Bubba.
Oh, good for him.
8 under, and he wins his second Masters championship. So congratulations to Bubba Watson. Holds off Jonas Blixt, the kid Jordan Spieth, Miguel Angel Jimenez. I love that guy, I'll tell you what.
Now, I heard Spieth made a hell of a shot coming out of the sand to make a huge birdie.
Totally missed it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a single hole.
Ricky Fowler finishing tied for 5th, along with Matt Kuchar, Lee Westwood, and Bernard Longer comes in 8th. Boy, I'll tell you what, that guy just won't go away. That's crazy. But, wow. So, congratulations to Bubba Watson, putting on his second green jacket. Tiger Woods, of course, nowhere to be found as issues with his back, did not play, and apparently the ratings suffered because of it. It's a tough break for him. And
you know what I like to do, Mark? I like to play Frisbee.
Okay.
I jumped up for one yesterday and came down, and my ankle decided it was going to turn, and now it's the size of a softball.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm in so much pain.
God, only you could come up with a Frisbee accident. That's ridiculous. Wow. I'm gonna play a soundbite.
It was like the first Frisbee pass of the day, too. And I still played Frisbee for another 20 minutes after that, and probably shouldn't have.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Well, Casino Examiner in the chat box, I'm going to save this one. Nothing better than viewing the Masters and listening to the Mark Hoke Show. Damn. Someone save that one.
Lounging on the couch.
I think you should tweet that for me, Nate. Throw that one out there, man. That's pretty funny. I mean, I'd kind of like to have maybe a blowjob or something thrown in there, too, but that's just me. I could top it. Not that I'm giving one, I'm just saying. There'd be an extra benefit. And thanks for helping me out on that, Nate. I appreciate you leaving me hang. Wow.
Oh, I was trying to copy and paste it, but it wouldn't let me copy and paste it. I was going to send out that tweet, Mark, just to let your ego expand just a little bit.
Well, thanks. I need it right now. All right.
But it wouldn't let me copy and paste.
So we're getting ready for the event number 14 of the Off-Tail Poker Tables Tournament Series. That is coming up here in just a few minutes, starting in 9 minutes, actually. So we'll get that rolling. So you guys stop watching your Masters and get into the tournament. Casino Examiner saying I got 5 ladies in the next room. Well, good for you. WPT Seminole Hard Rock Poker Showdown. Winner's going to walk out with $1 million. Current update down to 252 players. Siva Ganta is your leader at 975,000. Nick Schwarman, who is leading most of the day, is now at 930, just a little bit behind. Irian Lightborn at 735. Jose Gonzalez at 678. Matt Sedgman at 590. Some of the notables towards the top of the board. Barry Hutters at 410. Joe Kuther at 360. Noah Schwartz also 360. Tyler Patterson, watch out for that guy if he sneaks up with this board. He is one tough son of a gun. Also listed at 360 right now. Tuan Lee also listed at 360. We got Matt Stout at 350. Makul Pahuja at 330. Ryan Araquezos at 320. Ben Hamnet, of course, I was there when he won his Borgata Championship, is at 310. Ryan D'Angelo up there. Matthew Jarvis, Byron Caverman, Jeff Gross, Kevin Stamen, let's see, Roland Israelishvili, and Mark Ellerby, all those guys above the current average chip count of 213. What a story that would be if Araquezo could pull that one out. Whoa. That'd be something special to see, so we root for Ryan on that one. Casino Examiner, all church-going ladies. Good for you, buddy. All right, so taking a look at the current standings. 13 events down, 3 to go, including today. Your current leader on the big board is S. Brisk at 20.69. Mad City Ads, 20.05. Shum Cooley's at 19.53. Rock Forever, 18.92. Clandy at 13.36. Sixth place is XX Esoteric at 12.19. Now we got Zombie Paradox, Coolering Pro, Scrub, Guitar 195X, all over the 10-point barrier. And, of course, those points are rewarded from the PokerStars.net point standings schedule. They give points to a third of the players. And then these other guys under 10 and still going to need to maybe put something on the board to keep it going. We've got, let's see, Zion's in there at 8.6, the Mopper. Morpheus Waits. These guys really need to go in the 6s and 5s. Morpheus Waits, Lucky Man 489, Closer 2003, Clemson Donk, Hallow Wicked, who is currently our lowest point scorer that won an event. Trying to hang on. He's in 17th. Burner is your bubble at 4.26. So good opportunity for you guys to win. If you haven't played yet and you win this thing, you're going to probably be in the top 18. So good shot to climb into the opportunity to win a brand new custom poker table shipped to your house. Value is about $1,600.
And then if you do that, you can run a league like Joe Payne's in.
Yeah.
That's so good.
That is good.
The value in that is sick. He needs 2 more chairs, Mark.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Exactly.
You've seen what I've done in leagues, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So, I mean, I've gotten my way into that main event.
How would you like to be in that league and somebody in your league
just be able
wins
to have
the
the
main event?
knowledge that is shared in those three tables of people with Tom McAvoy and all those wonderful people that he plays with. I mean, those are some real minds of Las Vegas poker.
Yeah, and
so
Danielle Stryker, who we just had on, author of Poker Samadhi, who we just had on the show on KLAV, and that podcast is up, by the way, in case you didn't hear it. Boy, was that a hilarious show.
That was fun.
We had a blast on that one.
And talk about a book that can reach everybody's level. It doesn't matter if you've got a 10th grade education or whatnot. You can get to the level on her book and it's just motivational. It's getting on the inside.
Yeah, it is some pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, check out Poker Samadhi.
And if you got an iPhone, there's an app for the iPhone on there too. It's not on the Android yet. Darn it.
You realize if somebody wins the main event in that league,
I know,
this year at minimum,
not even the main. Isn't that the same deal on any of the events?
Yeah, but I'm just saying if the person in the league wins the main event, everybody in that league is going to
$5 million, and then they got to chop up $5 million between the rest of the league.
$166,666.
Just because you played poker with some really good player.
Yeah, that's all right.
And the monthly fee on that. And there's a prize pool at the end. Oh, please. You'll drive me to that. Right,
Mark? I'll tell you what. If
pick me up.
If a casino would pick up that structure,
it
can make a little coin. I think that I think people would dig that.
Yeah, your nightly league. They could really do that. But shut up, because that's what Joe's doing in the taverns, right? So don't let the casinos host it. If you can host it off.
Well, no, he's having that at that league's at the Stratosphere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Remember he said it doesn't have enough room in the house, so they play it at the Stratosphere. Why doesn't every casino do that?
I bet you like X22 plays in there. Paul McGrill.
Oh, that would be fun.
Have you played with Paul?
I've never played with Paul.
No, I've
met
played with him
Paul
at the Venetian, and I've played with him over at the Stratosphere. You can find him at the Stratosphere lots of times, sitting there playing 1-2 no limit.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. All right, so we are getting ready to fire this tournament up here on the Mark Hoke Show, and this is, of course, where we cut off the podcast. So we appreciate everybody that's listening in right now. Always having a great time on the Mark Hoke Show, and thanks to our guests Kelly Kellner and Joe Payne. Get excited about that Canadian poker tour. It's going to be fun. Go Canada, eh? Yeah.
Go Canada.
Yeah. All right, so we'll stop that recording, but thanks for joining us there, and let's get ready for this